We in here, baby. It's 106. No, it's the Wash It Back podcast. We at the 106.1 Cambia iHeart Studio, San Francisco. In the building is Filmo Mike, Young Aztec in the building this week. E. McGee is out. She's on vacation. Big shout out to all the likers, subscribers, everybody that's been tapped in, tuned in with us, rocking with us. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. Share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Big shout out to our sponsors, Cookies, Vibes. They hooked us up with some gear. Big shout out to them. Shout out to my guy Taj. Also, if you're trying to do shows, my people at California Live. If you're trying to do shows, tap in with them. They got an Instagram, California Live. Google it. You'll find them. Tell them Filmo Mike sent you. And yeah, you may get a discount. Psych. Anyway, we got my guy in the building, Baby Gas in the building tonight.
What up?
What's up with you, man?
Oh, man, I'm grinding. I'm back to it, bro.
You back on the grind?
I'm back on the grind.
What that mean? Explain to people what that mean.
Man, you know, I've talked about this recently. I just dropped a new project, but when I say back on the grind, if you've been watching me, man, I took a little break from the music, probably about like 2-3 years. I had a couple other businesses I was lifting off the ground, and I took, the music need a lot of attention, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so did my kids. So I think one of the biggest juggles that I've been dealing with, and I'm sure everybody can relate if you're a real parent, is the juggle of your family and your career.
Right.
You know what I mean? Trying to cater to your fans and the people that support you, and catering to your kids and making sure you don't miss a moment. So,
right.
You know, my kids is big enough now. I ain't got no more babies.
Right.
And all my kids are supportive. So it was really my kids like, damn, when you going to drop something new? we tired of slapping this album from 2022. We got to get back to it, Dad.
Got you.
So once they gave me the green light, I'm like, all right, come on.
Okay, for sure. For sure. That's what's up, man. Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you.
How do you, you said it's a great juggle.
Yeah.
Expand more into that, man. Just dealing with us like, life, kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
do you keep a 9 to 5 or you just be getting it off the
I ain't seen a 9 to 5 since I was probably about 19. You know, I'm 29 now, bro.
Wow.
I'm blessed. You know, this been paying my bills for the last decade.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, bro. Super blessed, man. God is good for real. And when I say juggle, bro, I mean like you got to just find a balance. And I think that that's like the ultimate thing. I'm always bumping into people who like are going hard in the music but lost their family. Or,
right.
They there for their family and they losing the traction in the music. And when I first kicked it off, bro, my leverage wasn't really there in terms of like when I pulled up to buildings and I pulled up to certain meetings, it was like I was doing too much bringing my kids because I was barely invited in the door. You know what I mean? Opposed to where I'm at now, I'm at a point in my career where it ain't no more leaving my family behind. My kids, my family, my wife, everybody come with me.
Right.
If you invited me, my kids coming with me.
Right.
And that go for executive meetings, label meetings, studio sessions, you know what I mean?
So you saying back in the day when you first started, you didn't have that leverage to do that, but you was kind of like doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And it was like you really was, you didn't even have an invitation.
Man, I'm telling you right now, bro, we used to be at the studio with a whole playpen in there, my daughter playing in the playpen. And, early years, you barely in the dough. Right. So, sometimes I did have to leave my family behind, my wife, to watch my kids and be like, look, I ain't got no plus one or nothing. It's just me, but where I'm at now, my career, they know what it is.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Sure.
Nah, man, we got Baby Gas in the building, people. If you don't know, he been putting in a lot of work. Where you from?
From Deep East Oakland, California.
Let them know, man. Let them know. Deep East from 90, 98, right?
Yep, yes,
okay,
sir.
for sure. Just got to make sure. Anyway, though, talk about growing up as a in East Oakland.
Oh.
Just your generation growing up in East Oakland.
Yeah, so I'm a 90s baby. I'm 95.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? So, growing up, for me, it's a little different than it was because not only did I grow up in a town, but I'm also first generation of immigrant parents.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I've told this story before to where, growing up in the town, man, I learned a lot of these cultures and these other things before I kind of learned my own culture.
Wow.
Just for the simple fact that, like, Mom's came from El Salvador, man, when she was 15, so she didn't really have too much of her own culture to even teach me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? She was kind of just out here. She was on the grind. you know, in terms of growing up in the town, man, I stayed within the Hispanic community because that's really where my mom used to take us. So, like, when it came to eating on the weekends or we went out to eat, we used to go to, like, the flea market.
Okay.
And then we'll end up in Fruitville District because that's where all the Hispanic people
I remember
was at,
that.
you know what I mean?
I know that, yep.
You know, Deep East Oakland, you know, at the time, it was predominantly a lot of blacks. And the brown was the minority. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now, if you go to the town right now, the roles are switched in East Oakland. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's Mexicans, Hispanics, Central Americans everywhere.
Right.
But, you know, coming from mine, 95, you know, early 2000s, we was the minority.
Right.
So it was a lot of things that we had to learn, a lot of game we got to get hip to, and a lot of trials and tribulations. I'm going to keep it real. You know, even going to school, like I said, you know, probably me and one more Mexican in the building, everybody else black, Asian, you know, Middle Eastern,
right?
You know, so growing up in the town, man, it was good. It's what made me who I am today in terms of, you know, they're gonna throw you to the wolves, right? So my early years in the town, I grew up in seminary, you know, my adolescence years, you know, probably till I was like 6, 7, and everybody there was Hispanic. Everybody spoke Spanish.
Mm-hmm. So you still speak Spanish?
Yeah, for sure, fluently. So my mom was comfortable there. But when we ended up, you know, moving out those apartments, my mom got a crib. You know, we moved to Deep East Oakland, and we were no longer around our people. Mm-hmm. I'm the only Mexican in my hood.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So when my family moved in there, now we adapting to other cultures. You know, now I'm going to school. Man,
but you're 6 or 7, so you don't even really, like you said, you don't really know yourself.
I don't really even know myself. I tell this all the time, bro. I used to, you know, do this singing at the Opera House here in Frisco through my school.
Bayview Opera House?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so,
what's up.
You know, I used to do this thing with, at the time I was going to elementary at E. Maurice Cox. And bro, I was singing Harriet Tubman songs, Lift Every Voice, you know, Black National Anthem.
Right.
I was singing all of that before I knew my own. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so growing up in a town, man, it's a melting pot, and it makes you really appreciate people's cultures, bro. You know what I mean? Aside from, of course, all the street shit that, you know, come with, you know, growing up in the streets.
Yeah.
But if we really want to get into depth in it, it's really what put me in the position that I am today. I love everybody culture, bro.
Nah, for real.
You know, when I come to the city, I'm eating everything.
Nah, for real. Nah. That's definitely growing up in the Bay Area do give us a different perspective, and we get to see a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people, and a lot of different views. With that being said, did you vote? Did you vote?
Did I vote?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Okay, because I didn't vote either.
I didn't.
But how do you feel about
I felt like our choices were fucked up.
Yeah,
you know
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nah, definitely. How do you feel about how the current administration is going about handling and how do you feel? No, let me ask you this: how do you feel about other Latino people that did vote for Trump?
They stupid as fuck.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You know, everybody got played.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they see it now.
Real talk.
You know, everybody got played, bro. All the Latinos for Trump. That was the movement, I think, right? Mm-hmm. All the Latinos for Trump. Everybody got played. I think at the end of the day, what's happening right now, you know, off my new project, I got a song called La Raza where I touch on everything that's happening. And what's crazy, it was before it got to the point where it is now, right? Like the protest and all that. But I think the way they handling it, bro, is like, you know, it ain't no secret, bro. Racism and all that's always been around.
Facts.
But I think with social media, everything's 10 times more televised.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I agree. You know, people, you know, it ain't nothing too much that the last president ain't did. You know, all the rest of the presidents that we had in office, man, they was deporting people the same way.
Right.
But it's just the way that, you know, that administration is putting out these messages, and it's kind of like adding fuel to all these racist people. They think it's sweet out here.
Right.
And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be the one to speak for our people, man. We ain't going nowhere.
Off top.
We multiplying, bro. They don't know what to do with us. They don't know what to do with us.
Top. Nah, for real, because, I mean, you know, we going to get into the music. We know you got a new album out right now.
Yeah.
You on tour,
Yep.
but I just wanted to hit these things before we get into that real quick. Because what I find is crazy and is hypocritical is like, okay, there's people that are undocumented, right?
Yeah.
But they're working in California. California is supposed to be the 4th or 5th biggest economy in the world.
Yeah.
But they're not, the farmers out there, they ain't paying health benefits. They're not doing all these things that would hurt the economy of California if them people were not there. And America is benefiting from it. So I think it's bullshit. You know
Look,
what I'm
I
saying?
think the whole country done benefited from immigrants.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, you know, and we can speak transparent, right?
Yeah.
This black and brown connection.
Definitely.
Right? So it ain't no secret that, you know, basically, and we technically speaking, both of our people done built this motherfucker ground up.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And immigrants, it play a big part in not only
It's built on immigrants. The whole country is
the
built
economic
on
growth from immigrants is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to get too political, right?
Nah,
you know,
we not. We just
but
having
you know,
conversations.
just I think that that's what it is, bro. And I said this on a podcast recently. I'm like, look, this is what it is, man. Like, you know, I remember growing up. You know, my pops and moms came across the border undocumented and all that, right? And you know, my pops done got deported a few times. You know,
Damn, for real?
Yeah, you know, but hold on though. My pops done been to the pen and then got deported right after that, right? So when you in the streets and you doing what you do, and you know you catching these cases and you get deported, you know what it is. You take that to the chin. You know what I mean? You know what come with it. But it's all these innocent families, these innocent people. Man, I seen videos of people getting stripped at the car wash.
Yeah, that's
you know,
shame.
everybody at they jobs and people taking people mid shift.
Yeah.
People getting ripped away from their kids, and I'm like, bro, what happened to the kid?
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So
That's
it's all these type of things that's happening in the
Fucked
way
up.
that they're doing it. That's like,
Yeah, it's
man,
the way
come
that
on.
they doing it. Yeah, that speaks a lot. And then you just talked about black and brown relations.
Yeah.
And what's crazy to me is that, see, I'm a little bit older than you. So, it's crazy. When I was growing up, like black and brown, like it was like a good thing, like up here, up
Yeah.
north, especially in Northern California.
Absolutely.
Southern California, I can't speak to that, but I know in Northern California for surely we was connected. Now it's kind of it's almost like I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if you seen or heard, but like I seen an incident in like Richmond, and I don't mean to get hella deep already. Like we
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 minutes in, we
No,
get hella
no,
deep
sure,
and shit.
come on.
We just having a conversation, but dude in Richmond, how they calling, you feel me? They not saying like nigga, like you feel me, but they saying nigger and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that I think that in some ways, some culture, in some areas in the Bay, the relationships have broke down between black and brown. Do you
Yeah.
feel that, or have you seen this, something like that?
I think I'm seeing it a little more. I think, like I said, with social media, people are starting to voice their opinions. Actually, even in the Bay, you know, like I seen, and I ain't gonna say no names, but I seen some incidents online where certain, you know, non-black artists is getting called out for saying nigga and all of that. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
I'm from the town, bro.
Right.
You know, you from the city. You know how
Right,
you know,
how we talk.
You know how we talk, how we grew up. And I think that they're fueling these situations.
Okay.
And they want that shit because, come on, bro, we the strongest together.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Way stronger together than apart.
And let me tell you, bro, when they start dividing us, that's really what they want. And I ain't saying that they dividing us based off of a word, right? The way I see it is everybody got their opinions. I'm from the town. I'm an artist. I'm Hispanic. I say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, if somebody got an issue with me saying it out of respect, somebody feel uncomfortable, it's cool, bro. I won't say it to you. I won't use it around you. You know what I mean? But there's certain situations where people feel like they pressing somebody over their vocabulary. You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm a different type of individual, bro.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Ain't no pressing over here, but out of respect, though, like if you was in the individual that was like, hey, Gas, like that kind of make me feel uncomfortable, bro, due to the history. I'm not really feeling, you know, you throwing that word towards my way. All right, cool, bro.
Right,
Say less,
right,
you know? I
right.
say within me and my partners and, you know, everybody else that's comfortable with it. I
Facts.
think people are making situations a lot, I wouldn't say deep, because everybody got their opinion on
Right,
how
how
deep it is.
deep it is, right.
You know,
Their
but
perspective.
I think it's the perspective and how they fueling it. And then you got the people that's coming out that's like, man, y'all, we got bigger problems. Y'all tripping on that.
Right.
So I think that that's kind of where we at, right? And I do feel it. And the reason I even said that whole situation is because now I'm seeing that their reactions from the Bay,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what?
Exactly.
I could understand it. We go to SoCal, and they was tripping on you using them words and all that because they not used to it. But bro, we've been using them words for 20 plus years, and we've been locked in.
Right, facts.
You know what I mean? So now that I'm seeing it happen in the Bay and people reacting a certain way in the Bay, I'm like, oh, okay. and it's the media. And like I said, aside from the whole like work situation, we come from the same struggles, bro. You know what I mean? Like we share the same neighborhoods most of the time.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You probably ain't had none in your fridge. I didn't either.
Right.
We're gonna bust down together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when we was outside in the streets, we was all kids. We didn't see no color. We didn't see no culture.
Facts.
Man, we just seeing. Bro, I got a bike. I got a bike. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got a football. You ain't got one. Let's play. You know what I mean?
Real tough.
And I think that the older that we get, I think it starts to get a little more complicated and
complex.
Yeah, for
yes,
sure.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Nah, that's real talk. We in here with Baby Gaz. You wash your back today, Baby Gaz? You in the Wash Your Back podcast? Did you wash your back, bro?
yeah, I got a wife.
Okay.
I got a wife. You hear me? So I be having a. Hey man, you can put that what is it? The little sugar scrub thing she be having, man. You gotta hit my back.
Okay, the sugar. Oh yeah, that do go crazy.
Come on, bro.
I know what you're talking about,
gotta
bro.
know. Hey.
So that's your technique. Your wife hooked you up with your back.
Yeah.
She hooked the back up.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta start asking that because I just be asking, did you wash your back today? But I'm gonna start asking people, what are they techniques? I'm gonna start having back scrubbers and shit. So I'm gonna, you feel me? If niggas need to know if they need help.
Yeah.
You got a wife.
Yeah.
She washes his back.
Yeah.
So kudos to wifey.
And
Your wifey came tonight too.
Yeah. Yeah, when you got a wife, bro, like at least my wife, I can't speak for everybody else's wife, but my wife would be, like, hey, babe, you in the public eye, like, real talk, like, I know you a guy and all that, and you ain't gonna go all out your way, but you need to put something on your forehead, or you breaking out right there. Like, we gotta fix that. You know what I mean? Like your back, we gotta do some sugar scrub. Wifey gonna make sure you treat it right all the time.
For real. You got a facial?
I got this face wash that she put on. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I'm not gonna lie though.
They got a podcast too, y'all. What's your podcast called?
Saying What You Want.
Okay.
Yep, Saying What You Want.
It's couples podcast.
Yeah. We say everything that you want, bro. We get so out of pocket on there.
But
It's some grown folks shit.
Okay. I ain't mad at that.
And we do take it on the road. So we just got done doing a little mini tour. Where you can actually buy tickets to come see us live.
Okay.
So we actually have partnered up with Galaxy Theaters. It's an upcoming theater chain. And we have partnered up with them, did a couple shows, and you were able to buy tickets and come watch us in person. Instead of watching a movie, you watching us live. Okay. I'm going to tell you like this. We the new age Jerry Springer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you come to our show, bro, you got to make sure your relationship foundation is on point, because...
Why you say that?
I done had some people that came in together and left separated.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I actually just had a wild one.
So how is it a comedy thing? Is it like a
yeah?
Are you guys doing like a therapy session?
Nah, we do a little bit of everything. We just shoot the shit. We keep it real, and look. I'll give you a little backstory of how it happened. Right, me and my wife just kind of started spinning the game, and then we kind of gained some traction when we kind of started talking about our relationship. So me and my wife, we into the polyamorous relationships. You know what I mean? So. My wife bisexual. You know what I mean? So
multiple women type shit.
So
okay, that's what's up. So people don't know that means more than one wife type shit.
Yeah. So people started chiming in and they had questions. Man, how you do it? What? Girl, you sharing your man? All of that, right? And I think that once we started putting people on game, right, we started talking a little bit. This is what worked for us. This is kind of what we do.
Right.
There's a lot of times that people don't keep it transparent with their partner. And
that's where the trouble lies. Huh?
Yeah, when you don't keep it transparent with your partner, bro, obviously that's where marriages don't last. People end up cheating. People scared of each other. Look, my wife.
When you in a poly relationship, if you be honest, right?
Yeah.
Say, hey, I'm gonna bring her. She finna come through with us, boo, and whoopty whoop. That's cool.
Yeah.
But when you start to lie and connive and be like, oh, I'm taking, the one chick that the one broad y'all brought over, you trying to go kick it with her alone without the wifey.
Man, look,
that's when you get in trouble,
right? You gotta be a fool for your wife to like women too, and you out here indulging in activities.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? Come on, bro. You know what I mean?
And what are you doing?
And look, for the record,
she gave you the green light.
For the record, my wife dragged me into this. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that I pitched to my wife. My wife put me on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And every situation is different, right? Because some people are cool with, you doing your own thing on the side. And some people is like, nah, it got to be a together thing or it ain't no thing. You know? So when we start speaking on that, the podcast gained some attention.
That's what's up.
People had questions. And, people wanted to come to these shows because people got questions. How you doing it? Does it work? Does it really work? Are you doing it for the clout?
Are you guys happier?
Man, we going on a decade right now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And my wife like my best friend. One thing, like, I'm not sure if you married or not.
No.
But when you are in a relationship that deep, if you can't kick it with your partner, bro, that's not the one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I know sometimes, some people be with their girl and they're like, man, I'm gonna leave my girl at home. I go everywhere with my girl. We travel.
That's beautiful, bro.
We travel, we do whatever.
Yeah, that's what's up, blood. For real. Yeah. No, that's commendable because that's something that I strive towards. Because sometimes, I be like, bro, I kind of want to just be all me. What I struggle with, and it's not about me, but I'm just having a conversation. What I struggle with sometimes is just, I just want to be alone. Sometimes I don't want my girl there, but
yeah,
I'm used to being kind of like single, alone. I have no kids type shit.
Yeah.
But you, on the other hand, you found someone that you care so much about, you feel me, and that y'all get along so good that you always want to be with that person. That's a beautiful thing, bro.
And don't
That's what's up, bro.
Look, don't get it twisted.
Real, you heard that, lady? I mean, people, rap star, want to be with his wife all the time. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
10 years
but
in.
hold on, let me clarify that,
like
Mike.
the Latino E40.
Let me clarify on that, right?
Him and his wife.
Because my wife outside, and she'll tell you, sometimes you don't even want to do anything with your partner. Sometimes, like, man, sometimes I just be in a room, bro. I don't even be talking to my wife. I do my own thing, and she's just like, I just like being in your company.
That's true.
In your presence. My wife big on anime. So,
okay.
Like if I do go somewhere, bro, my wife don't care, bro. She at home watching anime or something. You know what I mean? She like chill back. But at the end of the day, though, we also work together. My wife, my creative director. And she the one behind my marketing rollouts.
That's what's
so anything you see as far as like my new album and anything strategic that you see in, wife, you put that together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She the one in the label meetings talking about how we gonna roll it out. It ain't me.
That's
I came with the art.
That's what's up. Shout out to shout out to what's her name?
Monique.
Monique. That's why I forgot. I know it started with M. Shout out to Monique one time, man. She pulled up. Very beautiful family, bro.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you.
Film Mike and this thing is Wash Your Back podcast. And so one of the things that's crazy, right? 106.1 Cameo Music Podcast. We just having a conversation.
Yeah.
23 minutes in. Hold on, wait. 22 minutes and 50 seconds in. We ain't even really mentioned the album yet.
Yeah.
And we was going to talk about how, like, it's so crazy now. Like, you're a rapper, right? And there's so many other things that we be doing that don't even have nothing to do with rap just to keep your rap career popping. So now that we here speaking of album, so how long have you been independent? You came out independent.
I came out independent.
Okay, got you.
I've been in the game probably. I hopped in when I was 15. So at 15, I hopped into.
So you've been in 15 years, 14 years.
Yeah, 14 years. I hopped straight into the Thiz imprint, Thiz Latin. You know what I mean? I did that for a couple of years, and then I branched off and I started my own, right? Trap Hours. You know what I mean? And I brought my partners with me.
Okay.
And then, we started kind of, moving and grooving. And, I've been rocking with Empire probably for about like 5-6 years now.
Okay.
Still independent, of course. If you're not familiar with Empire, it's an independent record label. So you really drive your own boat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Got you. Like, how's that relationship been? It's
been great.
Right.
It's been great.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It takes, when you're dealing with labels like that, it takes some time to know how to really drive your own boat, right? Because you come into these companies and you come in partnerships with these people, they ain't gonna do all the work for you. It's an independent record label.
Right.
You know what I mean? This ain't like one of these majors that's hitting you with a 360 deal that's gonna do everything for you but take everything from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you doing stuff like that with Empire, and shout out Ghazi, because me and Ghazi been locked in for a while now, and we had connected. I was rocking with Gold Toes and his distribution, and then I switched over to Empire. You know what I mean? But Ghazi, man, and the people in Empire right now, from Tina Davis, Nima, everybody, they play major roles in the industry. You know what I mean? And I think what we needed here in the Bay Area was just that, right? So I've been rocking with them for some time now, and considering that they're a company in our backyard, it was only right for me. It made sense. And I'm not going to say that it makes sense for every artist, you know what I mean? But I think when you're an artist, you should be able to educate yourself enough to know, like, hey, this is going to work for me. Don't just jump into any situation because you think it look greener on that side. And that's the problem with the industry, bro. It's a lot of times it's just an illusion. Yeah.
Got you. An illusion. You think one thing and it's not what it is.
It ain't.
Got you.
Or you think one thing because you see it on somebody else, but it won't be the same for you.
Right. What was some illusions that you had prior to being that guy, that nigga, and then when you became that guy, that nigga?
Well, I think one of the things that for real is like, you know, you get these people that get like these hit records, and you automatically think like, man, this person done made it. You know what I mean? And then you meet these people, or you get to that level yourself, and you meet these people in person, and like, bro, everybody's struggling out here. You know what I mean? It be real. Like, and I think people forget that we only human, right? It's so funny, bro, because I be at the grocery store. And I be having fans bump into me all the time. Baby gas, hey, baby gas, what you doing here? Bro, I need milk too.
I don't mean what I'm doing here.
Like, my kids eat cereal too, bro. I'm shopping. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think sometimes, you know, especially with the internet, you know, people are put like higher than what they really is. I ain't never felt like I was above nobody. You know, I got partners.
Definitely always had that
demeanor. I got partners that work 9 to 5s, bro, that get chicken. You know what I mean? And they ain't got to stress you know, being an artist, you know, it's a job, bro. It's tactics.
You get tired of having the limelight on you?
I do. And I say that, look, and I've always said this to myself, like, you got to set a goal for yourself, right? I've never wanted to be an A-list celebrity. That's never been my goal of mine. You know what I mean? I've never wanted to get to a status where it's like paparazzi chasing you around. You know what I mean? I'm a manifester, bro. Like, I manifest everything. If I really wanted to get to that position, I'd have been there by now. You know what I mean? I'd have did what it took to get me in that position, but that ain't my key, man. Like, for me, I just wanted to feed my family, you know, and we're from the Bay Area. We know plenty of Bay Area artists, and I also spent some time in Texas. I know plenty of Texas artists that, you know, do enough to feed their family and more, without selling their soul, without, fading away from their morals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I look at it like this, bro. You know, you got doctors out here making $250,000 a year. So as an artist, if you could bring in 100,000, 200,000, you straight.
That's great money.
You know what I mean? You making doctor money rapping. You ain't got to be somebody that make 10 M's a year. You know what I mean? If you want to be, of course. But I know plenty of successful people, and like I said, it's been about a decade for me since I seen the 9 to 5. So
that's big, bro. That's big. So how does it feel? Just real quick, shout out to Dr. Ben Glass. Shout out to Dr. Ben Glass. He's a chiropractor, and y'all did a skit. He was like, bro, Baby Gas came over here and he just did a quick skit. Do you have something you want to do? And I was like, bro, I can't top this skit. I'm not finna try to top this. Yeah. He's like, he made it up on the spot. I'm like, well, I can't do it, but it was hella funny because he was like, yeah, man, hey, Dr. Ben Glass, every time I pull my phone out, my girl look at my phone, she always doing this. I need you to kind of like do something with her, crack her neck or something. So he went into the Dr. Ben Glass office and he cracked the neck the other way. He was like, thanks, Big Glass. That shit was hella funny,
for sure.
So they be doing
Shout
skits.
out, hey, he the truth.
Yeah, for real.
I ain't gonna lie, he the truth.
Definitely.
Bro.
I had to get hooked up, little adjustment.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mandatory. You get one of them, like you want to come back every so often. You definitely gotta tap in. And I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you get older, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, hold on, my posture fucked up. I gotta sit up straight, bro.
Right.
Like,
he was telling me about you gotta sit up straight and shit like that. So
and
I
it
definitely
feel weird,
watch
right?
myself.
Sometimes it feel like you trying to be too proper. You know what I mean? But you know,
it's all for your health. Health is wealth, man.
Yeah, for real.
For real. Now, we got Baby Gas in the building, Wash It Back podcast inside the 106.1 Cameo Studios. Filmo Mike in here, just chopping it up. What was I finna ask you, bro? It was regarding, let me ask you a question. You got a good relationship with Gazi?
Yeah.
Okay, and then or with Empire, obviously you just answered that. But my sole thing is when people say Empire does this, what are they doing, so to speak? Like what is their machine that they do for you?
I think the machine is yours.
Got you.
Empire got the resources.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So obviously, you know, and I can't say what they do for everybody else.
Nah, I'm just wanted to be. That's why I said I kind of
what they do for me. I think what they've done over the years is provide enough resources and, you know, middleman a lot of relationships that just somebody that's coming out of nowhere rapping ain't gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you like this, and it's about how you take advantage of any opportunity, bro. I just got back from BET weekend. You know what I mean? We did the BET experience. You know, pulled up on the 2 Chainz private premiere. You know, for the Red Clay. Shout out my little brother Christopher, plays 2 Chainz in there. And then we also did the Empire BET brunch. Now for the Empire BET brunch, right? It's kind of like a party,
right?
Now, the younger me used to be like, hey, we lit. You know, I'm just a vato from the town, right? You know what I mean? Here, you know, chopping it up, man. Artists that I ain't never seen before, that I heard of, that I grew up listening to or watching. And, you know, you turned up and all that. But now my perspective done changed because it's like you got to take advantage of every opportunity. So I just got back from that brunch. And let me tell you, bro, as I'm sipping my little tequila drinks and having fun, you know, me and my wife and my team, I done made so many connections in the 2-3 hour span, and you in this room, you got look. Not everybody's coming into this party. You got to be somebody. You got to be invited some type of way, right? And when you bump into other people in that party, it's an automatic thing that they might look at you like this. I don't know who this person is, but he in this party for a reason, because not just anybody in here. So it's an easier thing to do. Like you mingling. I done bumped into everybody. Matter of fact, you know, I bumped into Big Boy up there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? First thing I told Big Boy, I'm like, hey, look, bro, I'm going to keep it real. Like, I just, you know, I ain't do no fan shit or nothing like that. I just want to introduce myself, bro. Get familiar with the name. The Bay Area Vatos is up next. You feel me?
Okay.
Just dropped a new project, and he's like, hey, let me tell you, he said, let me tell you about y'all Bay Area Vatos. Y'all like us. You know what I mean? Y'all different. Y'all like us. You know what I mean? So I'm like, look, you know, she just shook his hand. Simple things, right?
Yeah.
Getting contacts, getting in the rooms. And I think sometimes, right, and I'll just elaborate on this, because I think not just Empire, but any other, I've seen it with plenty of labels where people might try it out or something don't work for them, and they blame it on the next person. It's very easy to do that, bro. But you got to realize, like, sometimes it's you, bro. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, hey, look, I ain't going to say no names, but I done seen some people try to down talk labels, and I'm like, bro, people don't want to buy your music.
Right.
It ain't the label, my boy. Right, you know what I mean? Like, your shit don't slap. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to keep it real with yourself. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, man, it works. It's been working for some time. And, you know, some people might say, well, you've been over there for some time, man. Yeah, I also took a break. And when I was ready to come back, man, Empire was there waiting for me. Like, come on, Gas, we waiting on you. That's really what it is. They're waiting on you. Any of these labels is waiting on you. You got to move, especially when you're on the independent label. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You and your team, that's why I said wifey is key for me. Right. Because when we walk into these meetings, I'm like, yo, what up? Right. Wifey, do your thing.
How's it? How was it? Right. When you walked in, wifey, what up, wifey? You do your thing. Nah, that's real talk. It's good to have a support system and a support team. My boy out work at I was telling you I do solar and shit.
Oh yeah.
And so one of the people, his name is Ryan Jetson, he always says, take the time to thank your support system, bro. So thank you, Aztec. Thank you, E. McGee. Thank you for pulling up, baby Gas. That's real shit. You have to go out there and physically tell them thank you and shit. So
you know what's crazy?
What's that?
I'm glad you said that, right? Because I just kicked off a tour yesterday in Gilroy. Mm-hmm. I got a tour named after my project. So my new project is called Siempre Ghetto, which it translates to always ghetto, forever ghetto. You know what I mean?
Siempre.
You know, because for everybody that know me, I'm Baby Gas, a.k.a. the Ghetto Vato, right? That's been me. That's been my name for quite some time now. So I felt like that was a proper name to come back with, and we dropped the project. But I just kicked off the Siempre Ghetto tour yesterday. And typically we would do shows at like actual music venues where we got a couple hundred people come out. You know, we do the rock the stage. We leave the stage. We might do a meet and greet that you got to pay extra for. Not everybody can afford it. Not everybody make it. So with this tour, I changed my format for this one tour because I think it's very important to thank the support system. So every show is not only all ages, but we're keeping it a small format, like 150 people and less.
Okay.
You know, right? Because we want it to be more intimate, more engaging, and we want it to be small enough still that we can shake every single person's hand without charging them extra.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know what I mean? So you just buy a ticket, you got an opportunity to
You
meet.
get the meet and greet. You get all of it.
You get all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we did Gilroy for the first time yesterday. Packed that out. You know what I mean? Everybody came out, bro. It was a time. We had kids there. We had babies in the building. Nobody had an excuse because, you see, the way that I do it, my fans is all ages. You know what I mean? Somebody might be in their 30s and their 40s, want to come see me, but they ain't got no sitter. I don't do no club shows. Don't call me for no nightclub. Don't call me for all of that. I ain't trying to perform to 100 people that's trying to act all tough in the corner.
Right.
That ain't my style. You know, I'm trying to tap in with the youth, the family, people like me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's my core fan base. And it's very important for me to meet everybody individually. I'm going back to the basics, man. Shaking hands, kissing babies, signing titties, whatever you got to do. You know?
Right, all that
For
shit.
sure.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you ain't gonna get in trouble signing titties.
Yeah.
Because you know,
Why he going to hand the Sharpie?
yeah, right. Nah, but nah, that's some real ass shit. So, okay, how many songs on the album? Who on the album?
9.
Okay.
Who on the album?
Yeah. Any guest features?
yeah,
You
I
just
got
wanna
a
focus
guest
on
feature.
yourself since you have been away for so long. Go
This
ahead,
is
man.
my first Spanglish project. You know what I mean?
What's that mean?
That means that it's like 51% Spanish
Okay.
and 49% English. So for the ones that don't know, that's originally how I caught my buzz, right? Being from the town, rapping the way that I rap because I'm from the Bay Area. So I ain't have that quote unquote that cholo sound that, you know, the typical Chicano rapper, you know, was used to having. And then I did the switch over to Spanish and I switched back and forth. But when I first came out, there wasn't Hispanic rappers around where we was coming from. You know what I mean? We had people like, of course, like, you know, the Chicano rappers that was coming up,
Capone,
like, you know,
Capone and
Kid
shit.
Frost,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, shout out Baby Bash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vallejo.
Right.
You know, he done stamped some shit. But like coming from where we come from, you know what I mean, that look like me, you know, that come from the streets that I grew up in, it wasn't common, bro. So, you know, I had to put the Spanish to the side for a little bit because people was questioning the bars. So, you know, for the first few projects of my career, I'd have come all English to solidify myself on the real gas and shit. Like, man, I don't call me no Latino rapper. I mean, at this point, I feel like they just throw that term around, so it's regular now. But at the time, I was big on like, bro, I'm a rapper that happens to be Latino.
Right. You called it. You called it as disrespectful.
Nah, I wouldn't call it like disrespectful. I just think that, you know,
It was like a genre of rap. It was a
like,
subgenre
hey, bro,
of rap.
you're dope for a Latino
Right.
rapper.
Yeah, I get you saying. Right.
What? Man, look, when I first started rapping, bro, I was battling at school, bro. You know what I mean? I came up in that era. Hey, you rap? Hey, so-and-so want to battle you in the cafeteria. Man, come on.
Off top.
And, you know, I was the Mexican, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you ain't see it too often. You know what I mean? And the truth is, most likely the one that wanted to battle me probably was black, right?
Right.
So, you know, I'm coming through and everybody like, yo, you killed them. So, you know, I kind of like built my little rep in that area first. So when I did come into the industry, bro, it was important that people knew, like, we fuck with it, bro.
Right.
You know what I
that
mean?
you could rap. Now,
Yeah,
when I
for
first
sure.
when I got first heard When to You, I forgot when. It probably was like maybe 8 years ago, but it was through Gotos. He was like, bro, you got this dude, Baby Gas. He hard as fuck. How did you get the name Baby Gas?
I grew up, you know, my pops was in the streets, so since I was a kid, I always been known as BG.
Okay.
Everybody called me BG growing up, you know what I mean? Family,
Baby
mama.
Gangster, yeah.
Yeah, everything. So, you know, obviously when I got into the industry and I started rapping, you know, now I feel like people be using the same names or they add like a little extra, but it sounds similar. At the time, I was big on like being original, and they had BG from the Hot Boys. So when I started rapping, I'm like, look, the baby forever there because I've always been the youngest. You know what I mean? And the gassing, if you from the Bay Area at the time, before they called, you know, gas, like we smoking on gas, it was bro, gassing, talking that shit, you spitting.
Right.
So that's kind of how the two combine.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, man, shout out Gold Toes for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think at that time, it was that space where people weren't used to seeing Hispanic rappers going crazy. Matter of fact, me and Toes, probably about like 12 years ago or 11 years ago, I was living in Houston, and me and Toes was the only two Mexicans on backstage at a Scarface show. It was Scarface and Method Man, I think, at Warehouse Live. And everybody was like, who the fuck let the Vatos in the door? You know what I mean? You know, we from the Bay, bro, from the city. I'm from the town.
Y'all moving different.
You know, so we used to move. They got the little, you know, food in the back. We making ourselves a plate. We moving comfortable. But it's dope to see now, you know, even in places like Houston. You know, you got all the, you know, the Mexican OTs, you got the pesos and everybody that's doing their thing. Same thing here. You got all the Mexican artists that's killing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's doing their thing. So it's dope. I'm glad that the space can change.
Bands on last season for our shit. Bands go crazy in Santa Rosa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
Stupid.
Hell yeah.
He got a crazy fan base. They fuck with him tough.
Yeah.
You feel me? How to talk about it's so much. Staying in Houston. How was Houston? I heard they Mexican food not that good.
Nah, it's not. It's not. I asked for an asada burrito and they gave me fajita strips.
You was high.
I wasn't feeling that, bro. But I think, look,
Chevys.
One thing for me was when I moved to Houston. You know, I didn't really even I didn't have no kids and none at the time.
Okay.
So, you know, I was still outside, and you know me, anywhere I'm the ghetto vato for a reason, bro. I blend in anywhere, you know. So I actually had caught myself an apartment right there in the Southwest A-Leaf district off of Beach Nut. All my real Houston people know what's up. You know what I mean? So I was living off of Beach Nut, 5'9" and Beach Nut, man. And I was tuned in with my people, DSD1, you know. So I was, you know, fucking around with, you know, everybody from South Park, you know what I mean? 5th Ward, 3rd Ward, you know what I mean? Shout out Stunner Bam and everybody. And then, you know, we was just tuned in. We was tapped in with rap a lot. You know what I mean? So we was really outside.
Moving.
Bro. We was outside. That's the truth. You know what I mean?
That's what's
I
up.
wasn't necessarily just coming through for a couple of days. I lived there.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy is that, like, a lot of the stuff that I was doing, like, I think one of the first songs that caught some type of buzz, Mozzie had pulled up to Houston. And he pulled up to, you know, one of my partner's studio. And at the time, you know, I was fucking around. You know, for the ones that don't know, I got a history of doing videos back in the day. So when I was young, my teenager years, like 17, 18, I didn't have a 9-to-5. I used to shoot videos to make my money before my music popped off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was in the studio. Mozzie needed a video. They was like, bro, shoot him. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm down here from the town. So, you know, I shot the video, and bro was going to pull out some money to pay me. I'm like, I got a song right now I need you on. It's around like blah, blah, blah time. So it was like when bro was going up. You feel me?
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro, did the verse, right? And I had my camera on me. So when bro was leaving, I'm like, hey, brother, hold on, right quick in the whip. I just need you to do your verse like twice. He's like, bruh. He's like, bro, you gonna owe me for this. Well, caught me at the flu. I'm like, man, come on, man, just knock out the 2 verses.
Right.
And you know what's crazy is that
So you shot the video. And
I shot the video.
You pulled some JT
Man,
the Piggyville.
look,
Let's do this.
look.
Let's get
Right
it
now,
done, bro. We
look.
got to do it.
And we created Fake the New Real. And I think, you know, look, I do features all the time for people. Some make it, some don't. But I think as an artist, you appreciate when you do something for somebody and realize that they put in the work to where that song blew up. You know, and I'm not, you know, bro had his own buzz, but, you know, we did a quick little milli on that track. You know what I mean? So when I seen bro years later, that's the first thing he said, Fake the New Real. You know, because he knew we did some numbers on it. You know what I mean? Same thing with, you know, I did a track with E40 on my Ghetto Vato album. You know, Big Bro blessed it, and, you know, he blessed the track and all of that. And I think that even he realized, you know, bro, we went crazy with that song.
Right.
World Star picked it up. You know what I mean? They put it out. They blasted it. And I'm sure 40 knows. Because, you know, there's times where people get features, bro, and they don't take advantage of it.
Fab was just talking about that. He's like, man, people get features and don't even, like, push it. You know what I'm saying? But when you get blessed with something, you got to push it.
You got to push it. E40 said, I don't want nothing from you guys. I just need a favor. I'm like, what's that? He's like, man, when I call you for a feature, just make sure you send it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's it.
So he blessed you. He did a 1-for-1.
Man, look, I'm gonna keep
That's
it real.
what's up, man.
They call E40, you know, me growing up in the Bay Area, you know, growing up in the hyphy era, you know, E40 was major, bruh.
Come on, bruh.
So, you know, they call E40 about Gas, and he's like, I know Gas. I heard of Baby Gas. Man, we trying to get him on a song with you. Now here's the thing, right? I've never been the type of person to go with the hype. I always do shit for myself and for the culture. You know, so if we being transparent, when I try to get E40 on this record, they felt like E40 wasn't necessarily the person for this song. You know, they was like, man, you got to have him on some turned up, you know, because they know him from the hyphy era. But, you know, E40.
You had a vision.
E40 really come for the mob shit.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I just see E40 on this. It's a song about life in the ghetto.
Yeah.
So I trusted myself, and I felt like E40 was somebody I grew up on. So I also wanted to do it just because of that. And, bro, he came in with a verse where he was talking some whole other shit in the hood. He talking about, you know, people eating pork and, it was just like some, you know, some unk shit,
Right.
bruh. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at first it went over people's heads, and then people realized, like, nah, he was spitting game for real.
He be doing that for many moons, as he was saying.
Yeah.
For real, for real. Because sometimes, man, 40 be talking some shit, be like, damn, that's some real ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he said, y'all not listening. I'm not rapping too fast. Y'all just listening too slow.
Yeah.
That's literally like you said, it went over their head.
Yeah.
Now, how's the tour going though? Where you gonna be on the tour?
So right now we kicking off the California wing. So, you know, we did Gilroy yesterday. We about to do San Jose this upcoming weekend. Following weekend, we're going to do Madera, California, Visalia. Then we're going to SAC. We're going to be doing Santa Rosa, L.A., San Diego. And then we're going to be going a little north. You know, we'll be doing Washington. We'll be doing Oregon.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And then we're going to get ready to, you know, transfer over to like Phoenix, New Mexico. And then,
Southwest.
of course, we can't forget
Texas.
about the Midwest.
Got you.
Midwest is major for me. I ain't done it in a few years, but it's a lot of raza out there. Like, man, I remember I did a random ass tour. It was me, Al Pacino, and Devin the Dude.
Wow.
3 of us, bro.
Uh-huh.
That's the most random tour you probably ever see.
Right.
But a promoter put it together, and it worked.
That's what's
You know
up,
what I mean?
bruh.
So we did.
You be in the mainy cities though, but that's where you get the love and shit.
Lawrence, Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, Kansas City,
But
Kansas.
that's good to
Kansas
have
City,
you at Al
Missouri.
Pacino. He got a strong following. Devin the Dude and yourself.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Hell
for
yeah,
sure. And once
bruh.
again, I was the Vato in the mix. You know what I mean? And you know, that's what's dope about our communities, bruh. Because, you know, I'm sure you see this topic going around. Like, we know what I'm going to say, like, the number one supporters in hip hop right now are the Hispanics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We seen the Kendrick Lamar shows, and, you know, bro killing it on tour right now. But we see the crowds, you know what I mean?
Right.
Bro, our people support, bro.
Right.
They come out, you know what I mean? And what's cool is, like, you know, when we support, we ain't just supporting our own people. We supporting what's dope.
Right.
If it's dope, it's dope. You
For
know what I mean?
sure.
So I think it's tight because now, you know, when people be like, man, what? You put a Mexican on with Devin to doing Al Pacino, but all the Mexicans listen to Al Pacino. They slapping Devin the Dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it makes sense, man. We in a space right now where I think we need to, you know, highlight some of that.
Anybody else on tour with you? Or just you?
It's just me.
That's what's up, bud.
It's just me.
So you created your own little like chilling circuit and just mapped it out. Who helped you map it out? Wifey?
Yup, me. I just got a whole internal team, bro, of like me and my real ones that done stuck around through the mud in the last few years. Everybody plays a position, and we bet on ourselves, bro. We not scared to take no L's. I don't care if it's 20 people pop up to the show. I ain't these artists that's gonna cancel.
Right.
I gotta think about those 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those
Right.
20 people might be die hard. And if you give them a dope ass show, that 20 turn to 40, 40 turn to 80. You know what I mean? They're going to go home and talk about it. You know what I mean? Opposed to like when you do these shows for like hundreds of people, you just go on stage, bro. People might be like, hey, bro that just hopped on stage. He was tight. You know what I mean?
Right,
but that's
right,
probably, what did you really do to engage? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yesterday I was able to bring, you know, somebody mama was up there single, ready to mingle. You know, I was chopping it up with her. We had
You
kids
trying
on
to get
stage.
somebody mama re-pregnant?
He said re-pregnant. Hey, it's fair game with everybody. You know
Nah,
what I mean?
time.
Like, you know, you here to have fun. We're gonna
Facts.
make sure you have a good time.
Mhm.
You know, and that's what the Siempre Ghetto tour is about to bring, bro. So I'm happy that we did it this way. I'm excited to continue this format. And what I didn't say earlier is that it don't gotta be a music venue, bro. It don't gotta be a music venue. It could be anything. You know, it don't matter. We at a park. You know, we bringing the people to the park if that's really what we got to do.
Right.
You know, like I got a venue. I've done shows in the past where I've done it inside of a barber shop, and we squeezed in 200-300 people there.
did what?
Yeah, bruh. I'm like, man, let me tell you, bruh.
Negrito, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, for real. Because you know, I think
A barbershop.
like, hey, look, it ain't no secret, bruh. Like the real hard thing to do is bring the people.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So if you
Get people to come out,
bro,
set a date for you to come see you. That's huge.
that's it. That's it. It don't matter. You know, we done school tours where we just pull up with a PA system. And, you know, we rocking. It's the people. The people want to feel you right now. And I think, I don't know if anybody noticed, but that whole, like, selling the movie, you know what I mean? That whole, like, foreign whips and big chains, like, that's cool for the ones that made it. But that's not in right now. You see the young streamers, they taking over the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
These young streamers, they don't look all flashy or nothing like that, bro. I think I even seen a clip of Kai Cenat, you know, was talking about there's a reason why he ain't changed his dirty carpet because he see people feel like it's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, millionaire, you know what I mean?
Right.
And people ain't into that. So a lot of my new stuff you seen, videos, pictures, all of that, album covers, I'm in a white tee. I just did my new album cover. You know, I put a box Chev in there, and I feel like it was more relatable.
Right.
I could have put a foreign. My last album was an ice cream cart and a Lamborghini.
Right.
But this time I was like, nah, we gotta go back to the basics.
Nah, it's a trip. You right. Motherfuckers just be rocking Crocs. The rest of being Crocs.
I do the same. I ain't gonna lie, I've been on the Yeezy phone runners, but yeah, same thing though.
Yeah, but nah, that
Comfortable.
it's very the game is going away from kind of like that what do I want to say? Pseudo image, that fake image, and then it's not real. It's not realistic.
No.
Like that's why people like kind of like Larry June.
Yeah,
It's like a realistic, bro. I woke up I wanted to drink some tea.
yeah.
You feel me?
Nah,
Like
for
on
real.
some real shit.
Man, look, yesterday I pulled up to Gilroy. I'm comfortable. I'm in my cookie shorts, and shout out Cookies, man, because they always keep me dipped
Chef
too.
definitely.
You know
Shout out
what I mean?
Cookies.
Always
Yes, sir.
keep me dipped. So I'm in my cookie shorts. You know, I got the forces on, and I'm like, hold on, bro. I got everything but a shirt. Man, some fans pull up on me, bro, and they're like, hey, Gas, you need anything, bro? I'm like, man, y'all got a hood store around here? I need a black tee. And bro's like, man, I got you. I'm like, bro, you bring me a black tee, you and your partner in the show for free.
Off top.
Man, they came back 10 minutes, met me in the back parking lot. Like, bro, Gas, we had to go to the hood for this one. They came through with a black tee. And I think it's that, bro. It's simple. You know, people know, you know, like we ain't got to prove nothing to nobody, bro.
Right.
Like I said, I ain't had a 9 to 5 in 10 years. I'm blessed. I know what I got at home.
Right.
My kids know what they got. I ain't got nothing to prove. You know, I ain't got to do like the whole like, you know, fucking fancy shit, man. The design the clothes, and I did that with my first few rap checks, bro. My first few rap checks, I did the stupidest shit.
What you do?
Man, look, my first real rap check was like 100,000. You know what I mean? That motherfucker was going in like a month.
A month? Gas.
bro.
A month, blood.
Bro. I'm gonna keep it real. I look. I checked my I checked my bank account. It was direct deposit. I checked my bank account one morning. I seen all that money in there.
You went crazy.
And I'm 21 at the time. I think, you know, like 21, 22. And bro, when I called my partners, like, we gone. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking
traveled.
I'm not talking about like just a bunch of partners. The people that have supported me, that have played a position. You know what I mean? That help with equipment. That been in the studios. Man, we traveled. Man, we traveled. Of course, I went to Highline first.
Okay.
I spent like 15 over there, quick
Okay.
15, 20 over there. And then, you know, that was the first time that I was like, hold on, like, I bought 2 chains. I ain't feel shit.
Right.
Ain't nothing was different. You know what I mean? I
right.
low-key felt like I got for a little 15, 20 piece.
Right.
But we kept it lit. You know, we had some more.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we kept it lit. I mean, I put my partners, you know, we got a rental car and we just travel, bro, to every state. You know, I bought clothes everywhere. You know, I bought hotel rooms. You know, we had got the pools and poolside. We had Vegas. We everywhere, bro.
Moving men.
And second time, I got another big check. You know, it was like the same $150,000. I went to the BMW dealership. You know, copped the X5 all cash. You know what I mean? And that was the dumbest thing I did too.
Right.
You know, I paid $70,000. You know, drove it off the lot, depreciated as the moment that I drove it off the lot. You know what I mean? I went to go get it wrapped inside and out. You know what I mean? Look, bro, that shit does not matter, bro.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Now I'm different rental cars. I'm putting miles on somebody else's shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta move smarter. But I will say to the youngsters, I ain't gonna be like these OGs that be like, don't do it. Man, do it. Get it out your system. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, if you are one of them smart ones that will listen, man, you know, move strategically, start a little business or something, you know what you want to do. But if you feel that urge and you come from nothing like I did, look, my mom was single mom, bro. We didn't have shit.
Right.
So for the first time in my life, I was able to do something that I wanted to without thinking twice of what it's going to cost.
Right. How long did that 150 last?
Well, shit, I drove off the lot. I spent like 70.
That was 75 right there.
My rap was like 5. You know what I mean? That was half the bread right there.
Yeah.
Easy. You know what I mean?
It'd be like that, though, man. You don't be thinking, I remember, so I didn't make not in one check, but I had a pretty nice check.
Yeah.
And it'd be almost like you scared to look. When it started to get low, your money started to get low, you scared to even look at your bank account, blood. You'd be like, damn.
And you know what's crazy, bro? I don't know if anybody else went through this experience, but like I had this problem where like I felt when I was walking into certain stores, you know, they look at my type of people and they like doubt if we have it or not, and that type of shit will make me want to
splurge.
More,
oh,
just to prove a point,
I get what you're saying.
I went through that for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where people question like, how can we help you? Yeah, for sure. I'm here to shop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, I just but I got all that out of my system. That's now, good. Though. I'm comfortable now. If I'm spending it's on my kids, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. If I ain't doing something like this, if I ain't doing a show, a photo shoot, a music video, I'm chilling, bro. Like you said,
what you like to do for fun?
I be watching TV. I be watching TV and I be chilling with my kids. You know, I grew up kind of fast, bro. So my kids be having me do hella fun shit. You know what I mean? I finally got to be, I'm getting to be the kid that I wasn't able to be. You know what I mean? Pops was incarcerated. Moms was single. You know what I mean? Working 2 jobs. Me and my siblings raised ourselves. We raised each other. So, we definitely had, to just kind of get up and get it. So now me and my kids be at the beach. You know what I mean? We be fucking around, be at the arcades, doing our things. And I just be chilling, bro, with the family. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. That's the best way. You
stay out of trouble. Huh?
Now, when I splurge on my crib.
Okay,
you know what I mean,
you reinvest in your house.
So I'm like, that's my space,
right?
You know what I mean. So now, my house like the LED crib. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My house got everything trimmed with LED lights. My kitchen, my room, all this shit. It's just a vibe to me. You know what I mean? So don't call me unless
sound like you need solar, my nigga.
Yeah. Bro, trying to sell something. Bro, trying to sell something. Nah, for sure.
So your PG&E bill kind of high. I got you. We'll talk. We'll talk
for sure.
I'm finna hook Styling up. Hooked up a couple of people. I think Big Von. I might hook Big Von up with some solar or whatever. He need a battery actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nah. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm a renter.
Okay. Got you.
I'm not necessarily.
A homeowner.
I'm not a fan right now of owning no home.
I feel it. I know a couple people like that.
Bro, look, I'm like that even with the whips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I done move strategically. Even when you are, you owning a home, you paying your property taxes, you doing all this, you responsible for all this shit. You know what I mean, man? I'm paying my landlord a flat fee, bro. Take care of this, make sure this is that. You know what I mean? I'm not tied down to this crib. You know what? Me and my family, we tied to this, on to the next one. You know what I mean? My kids is getting bigger. We need something else. My family's changing. We into something different. We moving. Same thing with the cars. ain't got to tie down because I leased this motherfucker, or I bought this shit, man. Go get a rental car, run this shit to the ground right quick, hit a couple states with it, roll run, go on to the next thing. I'm on my grind mode right now.
That's what's up, bro.
I mean?
You seem focused. You seem like you determined. You moving with intention.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've been trying to work on. Like when I do stuff, do it with intention.
Yeah.
You feel me? Have intent. But not what was I gonna ask you? Oh, you didn't tell us who was on the album. My bad.
Oh yeah. On the Siempre Ghetto album, I have Grupo M, which is a grupo out of Hayward.
Okay.
And then I also have a friend of mine's, Checkers. And am I missing anybody? No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Got you.
So if you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of features.
Right.
But I do got a project coming. You know what I mean? There'll be like an extended version where I did put the features that people are wanting. Mm-hmm. But I've in the past I've had great success with just bringing my partners on.
Outside.
My biggest record, 30 on Me, I just brought 2 of my partners on, and we did over 50 million streams together. It continues to be my biggest song to this day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Huge.
And
yes,
just,
sir.
I think like when people vibe with the music, they ain't tripping. I know it's a method that people use where they like collab with bigger artists or other artists to where they could kind of gain from their fan base. Mm-hmm. But I got a core fan base, bro, that's growing, and they just fuck with me as a person. Mm-hmm. That's why I tell Eric, look, if I could give any advice here on the podcast, man, I gotta let people know, like, it's more than just music today. You gotta sell your person.
Personality.
You know what I mean? The personality's everything, bro. I done sold everything and anything.
How your cousin doing?
What cousin?
The one I got from Fresh Out.
Oh, man. He ain't gotta live like that no more, huh?
He free.
Yeah, well, I be trying to tell him, man. I be trying to tell him, Look,
y'all don't know he got a cousin that be, I guess he fresh out. He be doing hella shit. He be making spreads and shit. Like, bro, what did you eat, bro?
Hey, look, so real
Take
quick,
off them slippers.
me and, for the ones that's wondering, that's not my real cousin.
Okay,
You know what I mean? I actually met bro on the set of the upcoming film Splash City.
Yes. I want to talk about that before we get out of here.
Yeah, so, I met him on that set. Bruh is recently, he got a couple years home. He did, 15, 20-year bid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he was incarcerated for quite some time. He ended up coming home and linking up with a good friend of mine that has a company out there called From the Streets to the Set, where she takes real people fresh out of incarceration and active members, and puts them on these film sets.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? So she done supplied, shout out Bernice, she done supplied background actors for things like SWAT, the Mayans.
Big. Shout out to her.
Yeah, so when you see these shows on CBS,
they got real ones.
They got real ones. They're going back to the hood right after the clock out of the set. You know what I mean? So I met bro on set Splash City, and when I met him, he was fresh out. I'm telling him, like, bro, you gotta capitalize on something like that. You know what I mean? And bro, he went to work with that content, because that's all I wouldn't say that's all he's known for, but that's what blew him up recently is people seeing him do all these skits, and it's super relatable. I got partners that home from the pen, and they're like, bruh, he to the T with his skits. They for sure was doing that on the tier. You know what I mean?
Right.
He definitely got it, man. Shout out to Alex the Great, for sure. We got some more coming.
Yes, sir. He is an actor, people. Also, baby guys, not just a rapper, actor, entrepreneur, businessman, father, dad, family man. He's an actor. Yes. Splash City. Yeah. Talked about it, man. I'm in the Splash City, people. I got a little cameo. I was there. I was like, baby cat. They said you stole the show, bro. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey, look, I mean, I don't know about all of that. Hopefully I did. At least, you know what I mean. I guess I don't toot my own horn, but I got an opportunity, bro, for a film that was getting created in our backyard, and they're like, Gas. Obviously, it wasn't given to me. I had an audition like everybody else, which was crazy. You know what I mean? When I tapped in and I asked somebody behind the scenes, I don't even know if I should be saying this, but there was like, you low key went against like 1,000 people, around 1,000 people for this role.
Wow.
And you took that shit, bro. You
That's
know
what's
what I mean?
up.
once again, shout out Wifey, because Wifey was my reader. She was reading the other lines, and I had to like put myself in a space to really bring this character to life. And, you know, for the ones that don't know, man, I'm from the town, but I was born in St. Luke's Hospital, you know, right here in the city. Yes, sir. You know, so, you know, when we did the film, bro, I came to live out here for about 45, 50 days. I was
okay. You was in the city.
Man, I was living in the city, and I was in the film mode, man. Shout out Ronski, 40 Keys, you know, everybody. They had us outside with it. So, you know, we had some actors that, you know, aren't from the Bay Area. So, you know, we took a couple nights and we went to Tapped In the Mo, and there was like, you know, everybody's asking like, you know, oh well, how do we say it? You know, shout out Roscoe. It's like, hey, you hear me? You hear me? Like everybody learning the lingo, and it was cool, bro. It was a cool experience. I became a SAG-AFTRA union actor after that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
what does that mean?
So you part of the union.
Okay.
You know,
so you when they strike, you on strike too.
I'm on strike too.
Off top, bud.
You know what I mean? When they say, look, we ain't rocking with this film, you can't rock with it. You know what I mean? There's some rules and regulations to it, but it's an opportunity for you to get onto the bigger stuff. You know what I mean? Not, you know, shout out to the independents, but it's an opportunity for them to be like, yo, we need you on this.
I can't wait till that come out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, my bad.
Man, no, I'm just with you on that too. I can't speak too much on it.
I know. I don't want to speak too much on it.
I can't speak too much on it, but shout out Burn and shout out.
Have you seen it?
Nah.
Okay.
But every time I see somebody that has seen it, they're like, gas.
You told me that last time.
You
told me that when I seen you. You was like, bruh, every time they be like, bruh, it's looking serious,
man,
bruh.
I'm like, bruh, why you telling me, bruh? You know what I mean? But what I will say though, it's normal because I bumped into, you know, a good friend of mine that I met on set as well, Christopher Emmanuel. I told you he plays 2 Chainz in the new film. He also plays
light skin cuz?
Nah, he dark skin.
Okay.
And he also plays Tyrese's son in the 1992 film.
Okay.
By Snoop Dogg and him.
Okay.
He was on Splash City with us, and them films that just coming out, he was like, "Gas, I shot those 4 or 5 years ago." So it's a little process.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's a little process.
Okay,
you know
got you.
I guess us as, you know, the people that's in it, the talent. They're like, man, when we gonna see ourselves?
Plus, y'all don't really know the process.
Yeah, we
like
don't know
him.
the process. Like, look, we was.
That was your first movie, right? You and Mook first movie.
Yeah.
Galaxy Adams.
Yep. First movie. And yeah, shout out Galaxy. Cause,
I heard he did his thing too.
Man, look, man,
y'all brought the real, like, authentic Bay Area swag that was needed. I heard.
Yeah.
Basically about bipping, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And well, it's about the culture, and it's about the struggles, you know, in the Bay Area. And bro, the team did an amazing job. You know what I mean? Shout out Four Ways ENT. Is a LA based team. Dope. They've put out some crazy ass like short films in the past that done got, you know, them pretty far. And I think the way that we basically brought an LA team and then the Bay Area team and then kind of just collided for this film. It's crazy, bro. I'm excited. I hope that one, I don't know where that shit gonna pop out, but we're gonna go crazy.
It's gonna be fun because when it come out, it's gonna be when it's needed to come out.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna put you on another path.
Right.
That's
and you know, Burn know what he doing, man. He done built a couple businesses off the ground. You know what I mean?
Think? He definitely know what he doing.
He know what he doing.
Shout out to Burner, man. I gotta get him on here, man. I be tapping in with Burner. I just be checking in on him, you know, because sometimes Burner the type of motherfucker, a lot of people ask him for shit. And sometimes with people like that, it's just good to be like, bruh, how you doing? What's up, bruh?
Yeah.
Like before, because I've been knowing Burner for a while. Before I used to go and see him and be like, bruh, what's up? I was like, he used to come to SMC. And I used to be like, Burn, bro, what's up with some cherry pie? I need that real cherry pie.
Yeah.
but
you know, but that's crazy you said that because, I feel that. You know what I mean? And but Burn, you know, Burn's like that, though. You ain't, like, I'm going to keep it real. You ain't even got to ask for nothing. Bro, just, you know, in the situation.
That's how he is. Yeah, he'll just be like, here, bro.
Hey, bro, try this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He'll be like, here's a zip, try that.
Exclusive right here. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I feel that, too, because, you know, I ain't in a position like that with them big businesses or nothing like that. But, bro, people always asking for something.
Right.
People always asking for something. And it's always the people that wasn't there when you was building. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what's important. Don't get it twisted.
Them the people that want the most and ask the most and the most ungrateful.
If you was there when I was building, bro, we rocking together. What I got, you got. You know, but if you wasn't there, bro, like, man, move around with that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out Burn, shout out the whole team, man. Shout out Cookies, of course, always keeping his dip, man. Shout out my guy Bill over there. The whole squad, man, for sure. They done been supporting me for some time too, bro.
That's what's
always made sure we was dipped in cookies.
Off top.
And they still doing their thing, man. That's one thing. Matter of fact, they just came out with a True Religion collab that I'm going to need. I seen the double stitch sweater. Y'all bringing it back. I need that. You feel me?
Let us go.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's what's up, man. So thank you, Baby Gas, man.
Absolutely.
It was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to push before we get up out of here? We had a long conversation, man. It's about an hour and 10 minutes. Usually they say, tech, they be like, they don't like them hella long. But nah, when the conversation's good, it's going to go where it go.
For sure, for sure. Nah, man, shout out my team, man. Shout out to everybody out there doing their thing. Shout out to, the Siempre Ghetto Project. And, just for the record, since we are shooting inside of the 106 KMEL station, man, tell them to holla at the Vato, man. They need to get a Vato on the station. I got a track or two, clean little thing that I can send over. You know what I mean? For sure. I just think, I told the same thing like I told Big Boy. The Bay Area Vatos is next. You know what I mean? Our culture has been big here for quite some time. A lot of dope ass artists have been coming out the section for a long time.
Facts.
And one thing that I gotta speak on as Raza, bro, is people forget that our people make a big percentage of this culture that people represent.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So we out here putting on for sure.
Definitely. That's what's up. He ain't lying, people. Film on Mike. The Wash Your Back podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hey, real quick before we go, I always ask a many-ass question before we go. Sorry, Aztec. Did you hear what Fat Joe had to say about the Loonies? Okay, so he basically said that, the Loonies is just one-hit wonders, and then Jadakiss was on there. He was like, bro, the Loonies got slaps, bro. You tripping.
He said that?
He said that. How you feel about Fat Joe? I fuck with Fat Joe.
I fucked with Fat Joe growing up.
Oh,
but, he got to worry about that last performance he did at that baseball game. It was horrible. What happened I could have sworn that was Fat Joe.
It probably was. Was it at the Summer Jam?
Nah, who was it? Who was the last? It had to be in New York, I think. Was it
probably was? Game? It probably was.
Bro, it had to be Fat Joe. I know I ain't tripping, bro. You don't quote me on it, but I could have sworn it was Fat Joe. Man, the audio was horrible, bro. You know what I mean? He performed everything but his own shit. You know what I mean? Like it could have been better. You know what I mean? And look, I ain't never been one of them type of people, bro, to even throw salt on nobody. So, when
I just think he not aware. He wasn't aware that the Loonies got other songs outside of I Got Five on it.
Now, is he doing podcasts or something?
I think he do a podcast with Jadakiss. Okay, I try not to watch hella podcasts.
Look, let me tell y'all about this podcast shit before we go. One last thing before we go. One thing about my podcast, we don't do no gossiping about nobody. You know what I mean? We might throw some shit out there like, hey, you heard about this situation, elaborate on that. But we don't ever speak on nobody's mess. We don't ever try to do things like that for a headline. You know what I mean? Even if you did feel like there was one-hit wonders, the fact that you had to throw that out there, even, vocalize that, man, that already kind of,
I feel it. I feel you. On this podcast, I try not to do that. Because I don't got time for the politics. I'm in enough politics to be my name, Film on Mike. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't have time for the extra politics that this could like, bro, why you have him on there? And I can't get on there. I need to get on there to I don't need all that. So it is what it is, bro. We thank you for having you on here, man. We gonna have to go home and get some sleep.
Let's get it.
Y'all be smooth, baby. Like, comment, subscribe, tap in with my guy, Baby Gas. See him on tour and go get that album, man. We out. Peace. Wash your back, bitch.